Alright guys, welcome into your Raw review. Remember you can add me on Facebook, Skype, Twitter, and we can talk on there, interact, get the interactions going on. So this is the Raw review. We start off with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H coming down once again. This happens pretty much every single Raw, every week pretty much. We always get the same start, and it was no different this week. They come out, they talk about Money in the Bank really, their CM Punk chants, and they introduce John Cena. And they say he's an A+ player. But in my book, he's a -F player. Okay, he's an F player in my book. Yeah, we have this mug come out, alright, with the belts, and he ends up saying, he ends up saying about Daniel Bryan. He goes, they won't give you the opportunity, but I will. So again, you got Johnson just licking arse. And pandering really pretty much to the audience, trying to make them cheer for him. So yeah, the audience then goes, yes, yes, yes. When he mentions Daniel Bryan, who is over, and Johnson is not over, yet he's drawing all that reaction to himself. I mean, it's silly. It is silly. And then we get the announcement of John Cena being on the cover of WWE 2K15, the video game which will come out later on this year. And I, for one, will not be buying it, because this motherfucker is on the front cover. I ain't buying that. No way. It's just him. Why can't I have a selection of stars? Why can't we have Daniel Bryan as the front, on the front? Or a Bray Wyatt, Cesaro, even Roman Reigns are crying out loud. No, we get this guy instead, who, by the way, they all booed him. They were booing him when he got announced this. When this announcement was made, they booed him. No one wants to see him on the cover of the game. I'm not buying that. And then Triple H tells us that at Battleground he will face Randy Orton, Kane, and Roman Reigns, and says that he'll be facing Orton and Kane in a tag team match, and his partner will be Roman Reigns. And he ends up saying there's always a plan B, and then Seth Rollins comes out. And then we get the Seth Rollins versus RVD match. So it was a nice transition there. I enjoyed the match. I think there was some good in-ring psychology with RVD attacking the back on Seth Rollins. You know what happened at Money in the Bank. And then you ended up having Rollins win with the curb stomp. In my opinion, I thought their other match was better than this match, but it was a still good free TV match in my opinion. You have a small Rollins interview with Renee Young, and then you have Ambrose interfering on the Titron and says he will haunt him. Every time he wants to cash in, he will haunt him. And that briefcase is filled with TNT. So it's a really good segment from Dean Ambrose. I mean, the guy's, in my opinion, I think is one of the best mic workers in that company right now. And, this feud which is going on with Ambrose and Seth Rollins, I'm really liking at the moment. It's something I enjoy, the WWE products. After that, we come to Rusev and Lana coming out. And, just talk about, well, Lana gives her usual stick about, Russia and Vladimir Putin and Rusev. And you end up having Jack Swagger's music hitting. You have him coming out with Zeb Coulter. And I think what's going to be good about this this feud with Rusev and Jack Swagger is I think Zeb Coulter and Lana are going to gel well, with the nationalities and stuff. Russia v USA, what they're sticking to really at the moment is, what they're going to do, what they're doing. I think they're going to gel well together, to be honest. Zeb Coulter and Lana. And Zeb Coulter leads the "We the People" chant, and it gets a real big. It's a loud "We the People" chant as well. Having two arm drags to Rusev from Jack Swagger, and then Rusev retreats going out of the ring, and then there's some intensity with Swagger, which I liked. Something I liked about Swagger this week on Raw. He shows some intensity to his character because to me he's a bit awkward. He's a bit corny in my opinion. Not really intense or anything, but he shows some intensity with his emotion and body language. So I like that. To be honest though, this feud, Rusev's going to win this feud. It's pretty much a given there because they're obviously going to feed this guy to Cena. So after that, we come to the Wyatt family versus the Usos and Sheamus. It was alright. Which surprised me about this match is I thought actually the Usos and Sheamus are going to win. But we actually get Luke Harper getting the pin on one of the Usos. So I like that. I like that the Wyatt family won this match, and they also get involved with something later on in the Raw episode. But I like that the White family won there. It was alright. After we have Bo Dallas coming out, this guy, you know, I like this guy. To me, he is very good at what he does and what he's given with his gimmick. He comes out, he says that he wants a 60-second silence for Barrett and Daniel Bryan. You know, he's just being, I forgot the word for it. He's just being, he's just exaggerating, you know, what's going on right now in the WWE. And just taking the piss out of it, really. And he says, don't stop believing. You know, I like this guy. You know, undefeated, whatnot. They could really build him up for this, you know. And his gimmick, I really enjoy his gimmick. I think he's a good character in the WWE. After that, we come to Nikki Bella versus the Fuckadactyls. Don't give a shit about this match. Naomi gets the pin. There's a scuffle with them. Fuck them. Fuckadactyls don't care. Nikki Bella don't care. We saw you said with John Cena, so I don't give a fuck. After that, we have an announcement of Barrett saying that he'll be out for months. And that the IC title is now vacant. You know, that is a shame, to be honest. You know, I'm not the biggest bad news Barrett fan. I was a bit of a Wade Barrett fan, but the bad news Barrett, you know, I'm not the biggest fan, but it's very unfortunate for him. Because, you know, he was, you know, doing pretty decent in the WWE. You know, he got some reactions, you know. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he got reactions. And he's now out now for months, and the IC title is now vacant. I do feel sorry for him in that way, because, you know, it's really unfortunate, really unfortunate. And, you know, after that you have this Battle Royal, which is going to be happening at Battleground for the IC title. You know, it'll be alright. I'll stay in tune for that, obviously. You know, I'll watch every pay-per-view. But, yeah, a Battle Royal at Battleground, that's alright. I mean, Cesaro versus Kofi Kingston. These two are going to be in the Battle Royal, and I like this. This match was alright. The only complaint I have this match is that Kofi Kingston pinned Cesaro when they were on a break, so I didn't get to see it. So when I was watching it didn't really make sense to me. But you have Cesaro basically just taking and destroying Kofi Kingston. He was just throwing him around. I loved that. I really did enjoy that. I enjoyed the physicality and again the badassery of Cesaro. And that's not even a word, but I'll make it up. Cesaro badassery. You know, I loved it. I like Cesaro showing his badass side to him. And he's aligned with Paul Heyman, one of my favourite guys in that company right now. To be honest, I like Cesaro, sorry, and hopefully he'll be the IC title. He'll win the IC title, because I mean, if he doesn't win it, what else are they going to do with him? He's not going to be in the main event scene at any time. So why don't you just give him a mid-card title? You know, might as well. Yeah, I'm going to highlight this in particular because we have a segment. It was like an advert, all right. We have Santino saying, "Oh, no one missed my birthdays." Or parties, wherever he says. Alright, no one goes to my parties. Well, you wear a cobra on your hand, a sock. Yeah, a sock. Snake. No one's gonna go. Alright, I'm just saying. And then Adam Rose comes out, you know, in this advert, and he's like, "Oh, have some twisted tea, which is ice cold tea." I mean, that silence just gives you it there. I've told you about this, guys. When you go to a party, alright, you drink alcohol, not tea. Or ice cold tea. You drink alcohol, you get pissed, get laid, poop shit in the morning, do it again next week. That's all I'm saying. After that, oh god. Sandow coming down as Vince McMahon. You know, I thought, whoa, Vince McMahon's coming, but then Sandow comes out dressed up as him and acts like him, and then puts himself in the Battle Royale. It was alright. Steph appears in the Titantron, says, "You can't do that to my dad," and then puts him in a match with fucking the shit Carly, right? And then he gives him one hit to Sandow and then pins him. What a joke. What a joke. What crap. After that, we come to The Miz. Oh yeah, apparently The Miz was the big return. Oh well, that's what I thought at the time. He says he'd come back for the fans because they don't really understand him. He should be a main event in WrestleMania. And then you have Jericho. Chris Jericho's music hits. That was surprising, to be honest. And he comes down to the ring. And then The Miz is like, "Oh, how could you spoil my big moment?" And then code breaker to The Miz. And then he's about to say, "Raw is Jericho." And, you know, I like Jericho being back. And The Miz, I don't really give a shit, to be honest. You know, whatever. But Jericho coming back, you know, it's alright. You know, someone who I used to watch back in the day. You know, so it's a bit of a nostalgic moment for me. But then you end up having him saying, well, I was about to say Raw is Jericho, like I've just said, and the Wyatt family come down, they attack him. Yeah, that was a good segment. I thought. I think it was a good segment. I think it really gives two shits about the Miz, to be honest. But then Jericho came out, and then the Wyatt family attacked. So we're going to see a feud with the Wyatts and Jericho. So Bray Wyatt versus Jericho. We've already seen this at NXT, by the way. I think they could put on a good match. After that, we come to Ziggler versus Bordango. You know, having the match, Summer Rae coming down kissing Ziggler. Ziggler kisses her back. And he wins with the zigzag. I don't give him two shits, to be honest. To be honest, I don't give a fuck, to be honest. You know, if you're my honest opinion about these two girls, right? Because they're really showing off this, who should we pick, Layla or Summer Rae? Who is the hottest? I mean, oh, come on. Layla is the most hottest. Alright, I'm sorry, but she's hot. I think she's the hottest one in the whole roster. Fandango, stick with her. She is fit. Alright, she's much more fitter than Summer Rae. She's not even in the top 3. Layla, right, I'm telling you, she is banging. Plus, she's English. After that, we come to Rob Axel versus Stardust and Goldust. I never said about this before, but I do actually like Rob Axel's theme song. I don't know, I just do. Stardust's theme's alright as well. We just had this on the pay-per-view. It's just pretty much the same result. I'm not really going to talk much about it. After that, we come to Paige coming down. You know, about anti-like diva status she has. So she says, and so she proclaims. She comes down. Says she deserves it. You know, people are saying that she doesn't. She comes down, says she doesn't. And then AJ Lee's music hits. She has a bit of a pop, actually. Yeah, of course, you're going to get the CM Punk chance. She wants a match, basically, with Paige. You know, she does have a rematch clause, by the way. And then they have it on Raw. And we have AJ Lee versus Paige. And in quick fashion, AJ Lee wins. And now the Divas champion. So hopefully this sets up a rivalry, but kind of has, for Battleground and even SummerSlam perhaps. Because I think these two girls can put on a pretty decent match if they give them the time and the pay-per-view. It's a Divas match which people will be wanting to watch, shall I say. What I don't like about Paige, yeah, is she says that she's this anti-diva, and she sat there in the ring crying, I want intensity, alright? And I was a drama student, okay? It is much easier to show anger rather than sadness. It is much easier to show, you know, you're pissed off rather than trying to cry, okay? Because Paige can't really act, okay? Her crying was terrible, alright? Her acting skills for crying were awful. So, to be honest, if it's easier to do something which is better, alright, to show you something better and to actually show that's your character, alright? Because if you see an anti-diva character, you're getting pissed off if you lose, not cry. So show some intensity. So show some anger, alright? That's what I want. So after that, we come to our main event, Orton and Kane versus Cena and Reigns. What a main event! I'm not going to talk about the match because Cena was involved and it was garbage. You end up having Kane taking out Cena. Rollins comes out. You have Reigns and Orton fighting backstage. Rollins comes out, gets a bit of a pop, and he's about to cash in, you know, and the ref's being a total drip, shall I say. And Triple H is saying you should ring the bell. He even calls him an idiot later on, but he doesn't ring the bell. And then Ambrose comes out. I like that. That was the best moment I thought in the main event. Ambrose comes out. Want to beat the shit out of Seth Rollins. You know, good on him. You know, he says. You know, he said about it back in Raw earlier in this Raw. You have Reigns coming out and spearing Kane, and then there's a stare off between. To end the show, there's a stare off between Reigns and Triple H. Thank God they didn't have John Cena with his toe bolts. And she's this, for example. I'm John Cena. What's the loyalty respect? You can't say me. Thank fuck. Alright, that didn't end the show. We had Reigns and Triple H staring off, you know, teasing their match at SummerSlam perhaps. And I think at Battleground, Triple H is going to, you know, screw them out of that match, and they're going to have a, you know, that blow off match at SummerSlam. Can't wait for that. And it's going to be we're going to have a 20-minute match. Singles match with Reigns and Triple H, alright? And you know Triple H is good with his in-ring psychology, and he's going to teach that to Reigns. So I'm looking forward to that. SummerSlam, we're going to have Cena versus Brock Lesnar, we presume, from that leaked poster. Lesnar better win. That is all I'm saying. Lesnar better fucking win. Alright, but that, I mean, look at this Raw. Alright, one of the complaints I had was there wasn't really much in-ring action, for my taste. There's quite a lot of in-ring promos or whatnot. Some were entertaining. I'd rather watch this. I think this is one of the better shows of the past few weeks, in my opinion. I think I'm going to go with a 5.7 out of 10 for this show. Because there were quite a few negatives, and I didn't really get much in-ring action. The Seth Rollins vs RVD match was a good match. You know, 6-man tag was alright, and then the last main event sucked, alright. But yeah, that's my 2 pieces on the show. It was alright. 5.7, I believe I gave it out of 10. You know, I have to rate it on a system where, you know, I've seen so many Raws before, and then there's been so many really good moments in Raws and really good Raws in the past. There's really been some bad Raws. So in my opinion, this was medical. In my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed the Raw review, guys. You know, share your thoughts, whatever. Contact me, Skype, Facebook, whatever. Twitter, that's the one. And we'll have a chat, interact, whatever. And until next time, guys.